Coming into Friday. I didn't start the recording yet. October 11th. I feel this Friday's got energy. Coming off best dealerships to work for last night. Tesla had an event. And what else are we talking about? One more thing. Oh, Gen Z over 50 is old people now.
I know I shouldn't have said it. I'm sorry. It was a Freudian slip. You know, it was a Freudian slip.
Listen, as a 45-year-old who has made it to the next bracket, who now like the 44 is the cutoff, folks. Once you hit 45, they put you in the next survey bracket. And I'm with those.
Is that what that is?
People 50-year-olds,
like on the drop down, and you're 45 to 55. Is that what that is?
No, 40. It's like 45 to 54 on a lot of them. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, he hit the drop down.
I know. I was like, I guess okay. This is when I could care less though.
It's almost like it's like I don't know if you feel this way, but it's like at some point I shouldn't be called a millennial anymore because I feel like that term has just been like so like beat up that it's like once you graduate you get to be not a millennial again.
Right. At what age are we not the millennial generation? Because at some point we're like, you think now like 2 generations ahead of like Gen X, you're like the greatest generation, right? They're gonna be 90-year-old millennials, right? Like they're going to be past it by then, guys. I think that ship has sailed, right? Like the 8th place trophies and all that stuff. I think we worked through those issues. I really think we have.
We've gotten through it.
I think we've worked through the world has shown you what it actually takes.
Can you make a meme for 8th place trophies? Because I feel like I need that in my life. That just like totally meant.
I'm going to get one for your shelf in the back. Definitely embody the spirit of someone who expects an 8th place trophy, Kyle.
Oh my goodness, stop.
There'd be a great segue into the trophy thing in the auto news story that
there really would, but we got to talk about it.
I know.
Oh, there's Shelly. I saw Shelly last night in Nashville. Look at that.
Already. No,
good morning, Shelly.
This world is just coming together, isn't it? We have 2 new podcasts released right now in the dirt. We call them In the Dirt by Asodu. And these are from the time that Jordan Cox on our team, head of community, spent at their grand opening. 45. Wait, what got 45 million views on?
Honda Pro Jason. He has 45 million views on YouTube. Yeah.
Gosh. Yeah. Oh yeah, there he is. There he is right on the screen. Check out. Go to In the Dirt by Asodu or just In the Dirt Asodu. It'll come up. Check these out. They're a lot of fun, and you're going to learn a little something. And Rush Flips Whips is out there and be like, that's my boy. That's my kid.
There he is.
That's 45 million views, folks. You can't argue with the internet, can you?
Internet is undefeated.
I would argue this is probably some of the best content with 45 million views because there's a lot of garbage out there with 45 million views.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, let's keep moving before we get in trouble. We're going to release our next episode of More Than Cars, the docuseries where Kyle and I go across the country to tell the truth about car dealers. This one is the truth about Mohawk Chevrolet in just north of Albany, New York. And boy, did we have a lot of fun in this one. This kind of really kicked off another level of competitiveness, I will say. And I think it's going to stick, but amazing dealership, amazing leadership. Andy's crushing it. Katie's crushing it. And it's so much fun to watch. November 13th is when it's releasing. So circle your calendar. We hope you can be with us for the premiere. It'll be in the middle of the day, so you can watch it. It's like a 20-some minute episode. It's a great break in the day. Check it out. Be in the comments. Have a lot of fun with us. We're just putting a little marker out there so you can circle it on your calendar. And you and I, boy, this is kicking off like a 6-week travel barrage.
It's a thing.
It's the next 6 weeks, you and I are going to in hauling. Right. And a lot of the Asodu team as well, right? Like not just
everybody's
you and I,
running.
Nathan and Jordan and AMJ and Al. We're going to be in Virginia celebrating the CMA, Carter Myers Automotive, Liza Borch's Group 100-year anniversary, folks. 100 years.
Unbelievable. There's a lot of 100-year anniversaries about to happen, just so you know. Like,
are there? Like
Automotive News is
Automotive News?
Years.
Oh my gosh, Automotive News and CMA started in the same year.
Isn't that wild? There's something there. I think there's something there. You know?
Think? You think? We're doing that. We're going to be with our friends at Cars Commerce in Chicago. We're going to be at Beaver Toyota in Georgia. We're going to be with our friends at Rohrman. I can't wait to meet them. We're going to be, where else are we going to be? We're going to be in Austin, Texas. At the ATAE comms event. We're the opening Florida. Keynote, so we got to work on our dance moves. We're gonna be in Florida. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And then it's gonna be Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Nice to have you. All right,
Speaking of places that we were at, Paul.
What was that?
Speaking of places that we were at.
Ooh, this is good. You were sending me text messages from this place last night.
I'm going to rip the first story from you because I was there.
Okay.
Audi Tysons Corner has secured the top spot in the 2024 Automotive News Best Dealerships to Work For list. Here's some of the other things out there. So Audi Tysons Corner was ranked 5 overall in 2023, but climbed the #1 spot in 2024. It's a Penske store, luxury store. This store is a Penske store. Yeah.
Okay.
Located near DC. The GM said this recognition is a testament to our commitment to our team's well-being. Here's what was really cool. Like, as they announced this, they were like, oh, no, you don't understand. The way that they celebrate birthdays was mentioned in the survey results. The way that they celebrate their team was mentioned on like monthly and quarterly macro cadences. Last night, it was really cool to like, the LaFontaine group was there, and then there was this whole group from the Tysons area of DC, and it was like competitive cheering happening when one of their dealerships was announced.
I thought you were gonna say it was like that scene from Anchorman.
No,
where the two news crews met each other.
No. It was like they had cowbells there. It was the most ruckus automotive news thing I think I've ever seen or heard of.
You usually don't get those two words in the same sentence.
It was ruckus. Well, because it was like 80% dealers in the room.
Okay,
and it
that
was
makes a lot more sense. They couldn't keep control.
Dan Shine does a trivia. If you've never been to this thing, he does like all the trivia. And so there was like 6 trivia things, and that was ruckus too. And it was really fun.
I'm so jealous.
Yeah.
I'm so jealous. You were texting me.
Thanks to the Cars crew and even for CDK for inviting me out and making sure that we had a seat to kind of have a front row to recognize these great dealers.
And thanks to our friends at Automotive News for doing this every year.
There you go.
Right? Like getting the people to the front. I think one of the things that it's easy to forget, and I don't want to take away a thing, nothing from the people who won, but we know that not everybody applies for this. Not everybody's nominated for this. And for every greatest dealership to work for on this list, there's another one out there that's also great to work for that we don't know about, which is the coolest thing about this industry, is that even if you're not in that ecosystem for this competition, we know that there are so many others that hold that level of standard, that are that enthusiastic about one another and their communities, and are impacting the country right now. Today, as we're recording this show, there are literally hundreds of thousands of people greeting customers, taking care of them, involved in the community, like right now at this moment. And that's a pretty encouraging thing.
Yeah, it's amazing. So many
speaking of things that were amazing, I'm going to call it amazing.
I'm interested to hear because all I've seen is photos.
Yeah, so Tesla CEO Elon Musk introduced the futuristic Cybercab, they're calling it, an autonomous taxi aimed for 2026 full production during an event last night in Hollywood, showcasing Tesla's vision for high volume self-driving autonomous vehicles. The Cybercab, they say it's going to get to below $30,000.
Wow.
Everybody takes that with a grain of salt. It's easy to say that when it's 2 years away. Features butterfly doors, lacks traditional human controls, no steering wheel, no pedals, etc. With a Tesla rideshare service like Uber app, but it's also available for someone to buy. You can buy it. And they even talked about if you're an Uber driver now, buy a few of these and become what he called a little shepherd of your Cybercab flock. It's pretty cool.
It's actually really smart.
I actually saw someone on LinkedIn today change their profile to Tesla Semi Shepherd because they own like 50. They ordered 50 semis. So production is planned for the Austin, Texas plant with an anticipated high volume output. Obviously, if they hit those marks, it will be. He envisions a future where Cybercab handles rideshare duties autonomously for Uber or Lyft. And he says the future should look like the future, which is why they design the cars the way they do.
They do look really cool. You got to go check out the full like photo list of this thing. They just look cool. Like they look like they should, if you're in a fully autonomous car with no controls, it should look like
the future,
something that we haven't seen before. And it absolutely does. So I'm thrilled by it. Hey, is it going to come in 2026? Is it going to be under 30 grand? Who knows? But it's cool to think about.
You know, on LinkedIn, you can see a lot of like first person videos and things there. They did release another vehicle they hadn't talked about called the Robo Van, which is I think it's like a 15 passenger van. It looks like a Star Wars transport. People like inside face one another. It's like tiered seating. But at the event, they built this entire set. It was 30 acres. It was a 30-acre set where they had 20 Cybercabs, and the people who were out there could just take rides in the Cybercab. You get in, you tap which part of the set you want to go to. They had like Westworld. They had a few things. And they also had some great videos you can see on like how it would be deployed, which made sense. And they also had their humanoid robots out mingling with the crowd. It was another big announcement. I saw one where they were playing like rock, paper, scissors with some of the guests. They were serving drinks behind the bar. Like literally the robots were the bartenders.
That's
in Westworld. Like they had cowboy hats on. Like it felt like a Tesla event is back. Right. It's been, and love it or hate it, think he's going to deliver on the promises or not. I do think though, they have delivered on some promises.
It's art of possible, right? Like there always has to be someone doing art of possible, and that person probably will do it. There may be other people that do it in a similar or slightly different timeline, but like our world always needs art of possible.
Yeah. I mean, there's an element, a comment from Doug Klassen. Didn't he just release the Optimus robot for $20,000 to $30,000 per piece, like a butler or a maid? Yeah, that's another thing he said at the event. He said he envisions these robots being in the $20,000 to $30,000 price point. So like you could have one in your house, but we'll see, right? Like all this is grain of salt. It's Elon Musk. He's an optimist when it comes to timelines. He actually said that. He goes, he's like, I've heard that I can be a little optimistic on time frames. Like he said it like poking fun at himself. But here's what I think we as the auto industry need to be thinking about. This conversation feels very similar to one we were having 4 or 5 years ago when we were talking about autonomy and thinking of transportation by cost per mile. Is a big conversation we were having 4 or 5 years ago. It went away and now it's back, but it's coming back around with, I think, a much clearer vision of how that could be possible. And, you know, they were showing pictures of like, hey, wouldn't it be nice if the cities looked more like this? And they showed like a football stadium. And then instead of parking lots all around it, it was like parks. And they showed an airport instead of the big parking garages. It was like green space and parks. And basically he said, we're taking the ing lot out of parking lot is what he said. He said it as a joke. But well, the point is you have a car that operates maybe 10 hours a week, he said.
Right.
What if that thing operated, 5 times, maybe 10 times more? How many fewer cars will we need? To which the auto industry goes, whoa.
Yeah.
So what's it going to do to personal car ownership? I mean, you can buy these personally, but it is a conversation that is like back. Like
Absolutely.
I haven't heard it yet, and maybe it's the first time we're talking about it
next few years.
Well, it'll be a
big conversation, but I think it'll be looped in there with the EV conversation. We'll see. I think people still like driving their cars.
Oh, without a doubt. And they showed like a picture of like one of the videos, like people get in the Tesla cab or the Robo cab, and they bring their dog in there. I'm like, what's that thing smell like now? Right when the next person gets in. But they also showed that they in a couple more things. They introduced induction charging. Oh, these are things that I haven't heard said on LinkedIn or anything yet. Induction charging, so you don't have to plug it in.
Yep.
And they had a video where there were like robots cleaning the vehicle, not humanoid robots, but like the car goes in, it pulls over the charger, the gull wing doors open up, and then like all these arms come in, they vacuum the seats, a little buffer comes in, polishes the touchscreen glass. I was like,
see that, like, I don't know if you ever remember the original video of the Tesla battery swap where it like came in from the ground.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It kind of reminds me of that. It's like, oh, that's cute.
It's fun. Like, it's fun to talk about.
Yeah.
Fun to talk about. Speaking of things that are fun to talk about.
Stop. Segue.
Time. We all know that Gen Z is reshaping consumer habits, obviously, but a new key demographic is kind of exposing itself. The over 50 population has a bunch of financial power and brand loyalty even. The retail experts are calling it the silver economy, and it is a way to target individuals age 50 plus, offering tailored products in sectors like health, automotive, and tourism. The group boasts high purchasing power, focusing on experiences and active lifestyles. Listen to this. By 2030, the population age 60 plus will surpass 1.4 billion globally, creating vast market potential. The population of this group of baby boomers has a combined net worth of $70 trillion.
Oh my gosh.
What? Smart homes and e-health are key to appealing to this group. They want experience, they want consumer comfort, and they got money to spend, y'all.
I mean, is this really news? Like the older people have the more money.
The more money.
Is that really?
Well, I think so. Here's what I actually think the news is.
The generation bigger? Do they have more wealth than previous generations?
We've known that this generation is going to be in a retirement phase, is going to be in a phase where they have more money and they have disposable income and they want experiences. Mm-hmm. And I think what's interesting about it is we always see culture doing this over and over. It's in cycles. Millennial, we kind of joked about millennials, but the graduating culture typically drives consumer interest, right? Because it's the most attractive culture to retailers. It's the ones, it's the culture.
Pepsi cares what they think. Yeah, they're setting, they're creating culture.
So basically, whatever that culture is that's like graduating, kind of like the mid-20s culture, drives the rest of culture, but they typically can't spend the money like the rest of the generations. And so these older generations, as they're being driven by the cultural experience, which is interesting because Gen Z definitely loves experiential, definitely loves creature comforts, right? Mm-hmm. It kind of transfers into this populous generation that has the money to spend. So
I like that. I like that.
Think about it.
The focus on experience, that has not been a part of a 50-year-old generation before.
Right.
It's like the focus and intentionality, the expectation of experience. It mentions automotive in here, and I'm kind of trying to think of like, what does that mean? Like, what does experience mean for an automotive?
It means these people still want to visit your store. They want to have an emotional experience with a person, and they want it to be an experience.
I think it's a great time for them to try their first EV, if you ask me. Little weekender. Speaking of weekenders, we're on our way to one.
We're there.
Look, whether you're on the lot over the weekend or you're at home refreshing with your family, pay attention to the people. We had so much fun with you this week. We'll see you tomorrow morning.